You love murder. 14 people occupying seats in the class. Everyone is having their conversations that they usually do. Everything is normal. Then it goes dark. The lights cut back on, and then you see that one is dead. What do you do? Everyone has questions. No one has answers, but someone did it. Someone. But who? Was it the socially fabulous girl in the front of the class? Was it the girl trembling in fear on the stairs? Was it the guy looking around as if he was hiding something? Or was it the bystander that only looks from afar? You don't know who, but that's the fun part. For this video in particular, I will be convincing you why you, along with other people of course, love when murder is the subject of entertainment. The obvious retort to that sentiment would be saying something along the lines of, I don't like murder, that's disgusting, and how dare you? And you would be correct in a perfect world, but what if that disgust and the sociopathic nature of it is the point? In Danganronpa, the purpose is to get the students to give in to this deep-seated need to kill someone. And Monokuma achieves this by giving everyone a motive. And as a viewer, you love it. You love the motive. That won't be all though. In order to properly sell this to you, I will present 3 parts of Danganronpa that make this argument actually solid and perfectly shows this dark side of humanity that everyone has within. The first part is the actual killing game itself. When a game is presented, the first thing that should be clear is whether there is a winner or a loser. In Danganronpa specifically, the winner status is impossible to achieve for the students. In the end, the real winner is Monokuma as long as one person dies. The real game is played when killing is resisted, but resistance breeds irritants. Getting to know the killers and the victims is part 2. Everyone is prone to death in Danganronpa, just like in real life. In real life, however, the relationships you form heavily impact the effect of being separated from said relationships. You never know who is safe to like or safe to hate. Sometimes entertainment stems from this feeling that your emotions are tossed in the trash, along with the characters and the people that you love. The third and final part is figuring out who the killers are. A huge part of my argument is that people love the mystery behind the murder. Why did it happen? What caused this person to dip below the worst of humanity? People feed off of this mystery, and regardless of who got murdered, figuring it out is the secret top priority in entertainment. Being objective about a murder is hard, but fiction allows us to completely disregard the feeling of immorality entirely. These 3 elements, alongside some research that I've done on the subject, will do more than enough to show you why, as a viewer and as a consumer of entertainment, love murder, especially when it's in the form of entertainment. Now, let's begin with the first point of my research that I'd like to title The Killing Game. Now, let's rewind the clock back just a little bit to the year of 1837 in the Victorian era.
It's showtime.
When those that were accused of murder would be in turn executed in front of a live audience. While nothing like a motive is present, this is the earliest form of death as entertainment. We as people demand that anything we do engages us in any kind of way. If it doesn't, we tend to fall asleep.
Do you have anything to say before you're consigned to hell?
I only hope it's as hot down there as they say it is.
In the present day in Danganronpa, the killing game in the show is broadcast to the entire world, chomping at the bit waiting for the next motive to cause a killing.
What about the TV you found? If you could direct your attention behind you, please.
Wait, we're...
Why are we on television?
What is this?
But that world is a little familiar, is it not? Yeah, we're the world outside of the world watching the killing game. The degree of separation is almost non-existent between the show's world and ours. Another element to this killing game is depending on what motives drive said characters to kill. This is what glues us to the screen because we all have motives. We wouldn't live our lives without motives. We wouldn't come to college without a motive. But what makes motives even better is relatability. One motive that is in Danganronpa concerns losing family. The character Maizono loses her only form of family that she's ever known, which is her idol pop group. I'm sure at least 95% of you would relate to hating losing your family. But if you knew who did it, you would feel a little bit different. The feeling of vendetta, the feeling of revenge, it would feel different.
Bro, I am totally jealous of your luck! I can't do this! I have to get out of here before it's too late!
What Maizano does, however, changes the game entirely.
There's only one way to graduate here. Kill one of your classmates without getting caught.
Up till that point, Danganronpa conditions you to like the main character and his love interest, which is Maizano. But Maizano instead betrays him by getting him set up to be killed by another student. She does this in the hopes that she won't get caught and be able to save her idol family if she doesn't get caught.
I trust you, believe me. I just wonder whether it might be easier for us to swap rooms for the night.
Swap rooms? We go check on her. Maizano! What the heck? It should be locked.
Someone indeed does end up dying, but instead of the main character, it is actually Maizano who takes the fall. This is set up as a plot twist that shows early on that you can't trust anyone, especially someone who has nothing to lose, but everything to gain.
Don't do it! Please, I'm begging you! No!
One thing that makes entertainment a murderously good time is knowing the killer and the killed. Danganronpa makes this a staple of its presentation. Everything you think you know is thrown out of the window as soon as the murderer has a psychotic flip out and gives themselves away immediately. For characters you don't like, you want to see them killed or gotten rid of as soon as possible, similar to the Victorian live executions of 1837. And for characters you like, you want them to be protected at all costs. But what about going on the other side of the extreme and loving the murderer? As is said by Peter Applebaum of New York Times, were the killers chillingly aberrant monsters, or were they a part, however perverse, of something in the culture as a whole? Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Jack the Ripper, all of these serial killers were drowning in fan mail while in jail, and all of it was either marriage proposals or showing sympathy for the hidden devil. These people obviously weren't good people, but these fans, these supporters, love them because they live their lives that the supporters couldn't dream of living. Anyone who wanted to kill someone in their lives lived through these serial murderers. They love them for it. And honestly, we are no different. Dexter the TV show has a 95% approval rating from Google users. American Horror Story Asylum brings in daily binge watchers that hunger for more seasons. American Vandal murders my stomach from when I'm laughing so hard, and in turn, I murder my wallet from when I pay for Netflix. This is post-editing me. Yeah, watch American Vandal, that show's really good. It'll change your life. Okay, back to the video. Murder is always a mystery. According to Psychology Today, there are 5 reasons why murderers get away from their crime, and these reasons tie directly to finding them out. Out of the 5, one of the most important reasons is they excel at impression management. This is the deciding factor with murders. Being able to save face makes the murderer safe from scrutiny and makes figuring them out all the more fun when you peel the mask back and you find this. Finding the culprit also fuels the reporters such as tabloids that completely disregard morality and cover the murderer as if it's a new celebrity that came onto the scene. That could be directly compared to how we blog and go to forums about our favorite characters getting the boot. In the article Tabloid TV's Bloodlust, they directly pinpoint the coverage of O.J. Simpson and his case as a case that is to be shot-called as if it was a sport. Almost every tabloid pounced on the chance to put their 2 cents into a 99-cent magazine, and people ate that shit up. Literally, the only reason why sensationalism of murder isn't illegal is because it works and it makes bank. Of course, no one will willingly walk up to someone and talk about how much they enjoy reading about the murder of someone famous, but best believe one of you or your peers have said, glad he gone, while scrolling through the shade room. I see y'all ain't slick.
My nerve.
Well, there you go. I've argued my 3 points. Do you believe it? Do you not? I'll leave that all up to the viewer to decide. But to conclude this, we still have one loose end to tie up. Do you have your guesses in mind as to who did the murder? Well, let's see who. The dead body being in front of the class means that the killer would have had enough time to get back to their location before the lights cut back on. So somebody in the back of the class is out of the question. So that means that the suspicious suspect that we pointed out before couldn't have done it. No blood on the body also means that it's likely a case of strangulation as well. And who in the class has a potential strangle weapon? The scared girl on the stairs with a shawl that she can easily remove to strangle someone, and she can also use it to cover herself in a scared, recoiled state, so nobody suspects her. She's also in the center of the action, on the stairs, not too close and not too far. Well, did you get it? It was fun, wasn't it? Just make sure you don't have a little too much fun, okay?